who was more associated with gun rights as an issue than any other without asking you about what's been going on. Turn on CNN yesterday, you got the kids and the families of not only Parkland, but also Columbine and Sandy Hook at the White House with the president. Turn on CNN last night, there's this town hall meeting with Marco Rubio and Ted Deutsch and Bill Nelson on CNN with all these kids from Parkland. Turn on the radio coming in this morning, there are parents of kids who were killed at Parkland on all the news things. I don't know whether this is actually a moment or a movement. I don't think we actually know yet. There is suddenly, though, a conversation about what the public response from government should be. We've had this conversation in some fashion for years together, Commissioner. What's your view of this in view of what happened?
It pains me. I mean, I remember Sandy Hook. I mean, that was just a gut punch to me. I mean, and then actually Sandy Hook made me think. Is your advocacy, you know, is it based, is it legitimate, is it the right thing to do? And at the end of the day, I concluded, yes, it is.
There's nothing that you felt then and nothing that you feel now that people in office should do. I mean, Marco Rubio...
I was getting there.
Go there, please, yeah.
So the problem with what we have now is there's this clamor to do something, do something, do something. And here's what's going to happen, or likely happen. We're going to do something that makes no difference. But we'll satisfy the gun control folks. And there's blame on both sides. I'm not happy with the NRA. I mean, and I'm not happy with the, you know, the gun control, whatever the moms are. But we will do something like we'll implement waiting periods, or we will ban high-capacity magazines, or we'll do this, or we'll do that, or we'll do all this stuff, and it will not make a damn bit of difference in reducing these incidents.
Why not?
Because they are window dressing to make people feel good. That's what Congress and legislative bodies do. I did something about fill in the blank, when in fact it makes no difference. And if you ban high-capacity magazines, first of all, you can't do that. There are too damn many of them out there. They're not serialized. There's no way of determining who owns them. If you ban ugly weapons like the AR-15, which does not stand for automatic rifle, it stands for Armalite, the company that designed it. It is not fully automatic. If you ban those, you know, it will not reduce the mass killings. I mean, the assault weapons ban of 1994, which expired in 2004, was not an assault weapons ban. It was a macho-looking weapons ban. Assault weapons were banned in 1934 with the National Firearms Act when it eliminated the ability on a fully automatic weapon. There are things to do. And the things to do are around my premise, which is politically incorrect, that we do not have a gun problem as much as we have a nut job problem.
Well, but I think that's actually become a standard. I mean, it's not a, you're not outside the mainstream on that. The nut job may be, but the fact is that what we hear people saying is we have a problem that we have to address through the mental health door and not the gun door. Let me just ask you as a point of fact about 5 things that have come up, just yes or no.
Okay.
Do you believe that we should ban high-capacity magazines?
No.
Do you believe that we should ban access to assault weapons, the AR-15 or the AK?
We did.
But no,
we did.
Yeah, but I'm asking you if we should.
I'm not taking. Assault weapons were banned in 1934.
And then they expired. I mean, didn't you say that?
No. Assault weapons were banned in 1934 by the National Firearms Act, which eliminated the right of a citizen to own a fully automatic weapon.
Right.
1994 banned weapons based upon their appearance, not functionality.
And then you said that, and then that expired in
2004.
Right. So should we go back to the period that we had between '93 and 2004?
No, it didn't do
to limit access whatever AR stands for. Should we be limiting access to those weapons?
No,
that's the question.
No,
the whole conversation about weapons of war.
They're not weapons of war.
Right.
I've been to war.
So you reject the language around semi-automatics. So then we're not going to do something on that. Should you expand background checks?
I think we need to change the background check system to get the people in there that are prohibited purchasers, like the Sutherland Springs. That was a felony conviction that should have been in the database. We need to do improvements to the background check system. Absolutely. Should we expand it? And what the problem is that close the gun show loophole. It's not a gun show loophole. It's a private transaction loophole, whereby if I wanted to give my son a shotgun for Christmas, that's a conveyance, and it would require a 4473 background check. Should we expand the information in the NICS database and make it accurate and make it up to date? Yes.
Yes. How about banning bump stocks?
I think bump stocks are a piece of junk, and I don't have a problem banning them. They're a piece of junk. They're symbolic. I mean, I wouldn't have one.
Right. Now, finally, and this gets back to your advocacy for legislation in Texas as a state legislator. President yesterday said, in response to discussions with these kids, we ought to be providing weapons and training to teachers and to school administrators as a solution to the problem of a bad guy with a gun showing up in a school, so that possibly a teacher or administrator could subdue the perpetrator quickly and avoid the negative consequences of an event like this. What do you think about that?
We need an armed, competent person at every school, whether it's a teacher, a coach, a principal, whether it's a cop, whether it's retired military, whatever it is. We need an armed, competent person at every school. And of course, the response to that is, somebody with a handgun can't stop a guy with an AR, or with high-cap magazines, and that's just, they don't understand the tactical situation. Here's the common denominator in all these mass shootings. There is somebody in total, complete, absolute control in getting their jollies, committing mayhem. And when you say, well, you couldn't take him down, he had body armor or whatever, and you just had you had your little pipsqueak 9mm handgun, you don't have to take him down. You have to change the dynamic. You have to take that person who in Aurora, Colorado was walking down theater aisles, calmly shooting people in the back of the head. It all changed. The first time you return fire, you've changed the dynamic. That person, the shooter, is no longer completely free to put all of their attention on the victims, and they have to respond to you.
And so to the